philosopher Sartre famously wrote, "Hell is other people." Okay, well, relationships can be hard. They can be emotionally draining. At the same time, as humans, we are wired for connection. Do you want to know what the research says is one of the single most important contributors to both emotional and physical well-being? High-quality, supportive relationships. Thousands of studies emphasize this. For example, people who feel more connected to friends, family, and partners show significantly higher levels of happiness, life satisfaction, physical health, and better sleep, and lower levels of depression, heart disease, stress hormones, and cognitive decline. People with good relationships are even less likely to catch colds. In other words, if you want to improve your well-being, invest time and energy in your relationships. There's a Swedish proverb that gets to the heart of this. Shared joy is a double joy. Shared sorrow is half a sorrow. Even though mindfulness practices work with our own subjective experiences, mindfulness isn't a self-focused endeavor. The outcome of these exercises is to help us see through the illusion of separateness between self and others. We develop a deeper sense of genuine compassion toward ourselves and others, and we're able to see more clearly the beautiful reality of our interconnectedness with those around us and with the whole world. So, mindfulness is very much about relationships. Mindfulness supports healthy relationships in many ways. We learn to be more present with others. When we're with others, we're really there, and they're going to feel that, and that makes a difference. We can also notice more quickly when there's an impulse or distraction that tries to pull our attention away from the people we're with. Smartphone, I'm looking at you. Or more accurately, I'm not looking at you. Mindfulness also fosters a natural compassion towards others, and it increases our sense of gratitude for our relationships. We mentioned this in another lesson, but research by Dr. John Gottman emphasizes how creating a culture of appreciation in our relationships is one of the most important ways to improve our well-being. Mindfulness practices also increase our emotional intelligence, which is critically important in relationships. We learn to better navigate our own emotions as well as understand the emotions of those around us. We're better able to manage our own stress response to emotional interactions, and we can create space to be with the difficult emotions of others while still keeping a sense of equanimity and clarity. So we're less likely to take things personally, less reactive, better able to see the best solution and take effective action. All very important things for healthy relationships. Finally, and maybe most importantly, mindfulness helps us learn to love without holding back. Think about that possibility. What would it mean to you to love without holding back? It implies a safety, a confidence, freedom, a removal of any barriers, the beauty of love unrestrained. It brings to mind again the words from Rumi. Our task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Mindfulness practices help us break down within ourselves those barriers to love. We're about to do a guided practice together, but there's a very simple mindfulness practice you can try out on your own. I want you to do this today, and really every day if possible. Ready for it? I want you to give someone your complete attention for 5 minutes. Really. I'll give you 3 quick tips for when you do this. As you talk with them, number 1, listen actively. Put away any potential distractions. Let your body language show you're listening. Maybe use some reflective statements to show you're listening and engaged. Number 2, be genuinely curious. See if you can understand why what's being said is important to this person. Ask some open-ended questions. Don't worry about what you might say next. Just see if you can be genuinely curious about their experience. And number 3, appreciate and enjoy this beautiful human being in front of you. There is no one else in the world just like this person, and it's your great fortune to have them in your life. Think of all the ways this is true. Appreciate them and enjoy them. It actually brings to mind another concept in mindfulness called mudita. Mudita means a vicarious joy. It's this pleasure that we get from delighting in other people's well-being. Mudita, very cool. We'll finish with this insight from Margaret Wheatley. When we seek for connection, we restore the world to wholeness. Our seemingly separate lives become meaningful as we discover how truly necessary we are to each other. The good life is built on good relationships, and mindfulness is one of the best tools we have for this. So, let's practice.